Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over how to play 6 Knights Kayle, as well as some things that you should keep in mind while you're playing, what counters this comp, and what you should do at each stage of the game. So basically, in this game you can see I have 100 HP, and that's because I had a Draconic opener. If you get a Draconic opener, that's the best opener for this comp, but honestly it's a good opener for any comp that you want to get a carry at level 8, because as soon as these guys start pooping out eggs, it's honestly GG. At that point, they're just printing out gold for you because you're not playing Draconics as your end board. So after your units are already 2-starred, anything that comes out of the eggs, you just sell it and put it into levels. So you end up hitting level 8 really quickly because you just get so much gold from these eggs that you're just level 8 before people are even level 7 or even level 6 sometimes. It's insane. Especially if you win streak, the amount of gold that you rack up, it's a lot. So by that time, you get to level 8, you can start rolling down, but if you're really healthy like how I was, you can wait a few turns and then roll down later, because if you're healthy, you can spare the health and then just keep farming gold from these eggs, and once you have that much gold, you're basically guaranteed to hit a Kayle once you roll down. But if you don't want to roll down, you can even go 9 with the gold, and then you'll hit pretty much all the units you want, because this comp is kind of expensive. It's like a level 9 comp, but you can play it at level 8. There's multiple versions of it where sometimes at level 9 you put a bunch of legendaries instead of 6 knights. You just play 4 knights, and then you put in random things like you keep in the Heimer from Draconic, and you can play him. There were some games where I played Viego and Kindred level 9, so it's really up to you what you want to put in. You don't necessarily need 6 knights, but that's gonna help you stall out the rounds the longest for Kayle to ramp up. So let's look at what happens here. We get more items, and we also get more gold from the minions. We put it into levels, and then now our eggs are gonna hatch, and we're gonna get Zyra, Set, Ashe, throw them away. They're already 2-starred and we're not playing them, and then use that gold to put it into levels some more. And then wow, look at that. We basically went from level 7 to level 8. Like, Jesus, just look at how much gold we got. We just have a never-ending supply of gold. So yeah, I just spent a little bit extra to go level 8 because I'm still playing Draconics. I haven't gotten Kayle yet, so I know that I'm gonna get more gold. So why not just spend a little bit to go level 8? You're gonna get it back right away. Okay, so let's talk about the items you're going to need for Kayle. You'll need a J, Hodge, and Gwynsus, but the main important thing is that you need a J on Kayle. She cannot die, or else you just lost your only carry. So yeah, prioritize swords and chain vests on the carousel, and after that, try to build Gwynsus and Hodge. Shadow Hodge works better, but if you can't get it, that's fine. After you have these 3 items, try to get more swords and chain vests to build more GAs, because that's going to stall out the rounds super long and just give Kayle so much time to ramp up. So yeah, get more GAs or get more tank items. Make your frontline unkillable. Just make it so that Kayle gets to that ascension point. Other good items you might want are Morellos on Garen. If you're against assassins like Katarina, which is super popular right now, you need a Trap Claw, or else she's gonna one-shot your Kayle, and then once Kayle revives, she's gonna one-shot her again. So yeah, if you can't get a Trap Claw or Bramble while you're playing against assassins, I do not recommend this comp because it hard counters you. But if you're in too deep and you committed to playing the comp, you already have all the knights and everything, but you're against like this assassin guy and he's just you're slowly bleeding out, you can't beat him. At that point, try to replace Kayle with Viego, because Viego also benefits from long rounds. basically if you have 6 knights or just super long rounds, you give Viego time to steal every unit on their side of the board. So yeah, kind of the same thing, same idea as Kayle, but he'll be safer because he's gonna jump to their back line and just start working his way over there. But yeah, he's also able to CC the Katarina while he's ulting her so that she can jump around and kill the rest of your team. So yeah, Viego, a really good alternative to Kayle if you're in that type of situation, your lobby's filled with assassins. Okay, let's talk about which units are good item holders for Kayle. So you can see here I used Ashe. She uses Gwyntus really well, and you can also put these items on set. He deals a ton of damage. But if you can't get a Draconic opener, you can play Abominations. You can put the Gwyntus on Callista, the Hodge onto Brand or Rise, and then put the GA on Nunu, and you're gonna have a really strong monstrosity that'll carry you to a level 8. Or if you can't get any of these openers, you can also try playing Redeem, so like Aatrox, Leona, and then put these items on Callista as your carry. If you're able to hit a Varus, then put these items on Varus. So play something like Leona, Aatrox, Varus as your opener. These are just a few great openers, but honestly, you can just play any opener that's strong. Don't force whatever these 3 that I just told you, because that's just gonna not end well. You're gonna lose a lot of HP. Play your strongest board. Preserve your HP until you can get to level 8, because that's just the main thing. You need to get to level 8 to find your Kayle. Okay, now that I've gone over item holders, openers, and what to do if you're being countered by assassins, let's take a look at what's going on right now. So we found a Kayle, but here's the important thing. Don't put her in until you have at least 4 knights, because 2 knights, that's not gonna do jack shit. Like, it's not gonna stall out the game at all. Your Kayle's gonna die. So at this point, Ashe is still the better carry over Kayle. Once you have 4 knights, then you can consider putting in your Kayle and then swapping over the items. But right now, no, absolutely not, because she's just gonna get wrecked and do nothing. And you see here, we lost this round. We're already starting to fall off from Draconics. So if we had just put the Kayle in over Ashe right now, like, the team was just clearly not tanky enough. So yeah, you're not gonna get anywhere with that. So let's just keep rolling and try to find more knights. And here we found Tarek, so now we can start swapping in. Let's put in the 4 knights, and then we're not gonna put in the Kayle yet. We're just gonna observe the next round and see if 4 knights helps the round go a little bit longer. And yeah, if the rounds are going super long, then I'll consider putting in the Kayle. But right now we're not going to swap her in yet, so let's see what happens. We're going against that Katarina I was telling you about that counters this comp, and you'll see why. I see here, she just one-shot the Ashe, and Ashe revives, and boom, another dagger, and she's out. So yeah, when you see somebody playing Katarina right now, which is super OP at the moment, it's probably not a good idea to go for this comp, but I'll show you a few things that you can do to win against this. A few things you can do is, once people start dying out, and if it's just like you against that guy, you know you're playing against him next, you can put your Kayle in the first row. That's going to counter assassins. But the thing about Katarina is, even if you do that, and even if you clump up your units at the corner, she's still able to get to them because of her dagger and stuff. So yeah, just be very careful if you see people playing that. Just be careful about going for Kayle. So now I throw away the Ashe and put in the Kayle, because if you look at my my leveling, I've been putting in a gold to level to go to 9, and I know that I can go 9 pretty soon because I'm still getting these eggs, I'm still getting gold. So yeah, I'm gonna keep leveling, and since I know that I'm about to hit 9, I know that I can get more Kayles and get more knights like Garen and Darius. So right now I'm comfortable with putting Kayle in because I know my team's about to spike. So yeah, at that point, put your Kayle in, throw away the Ashe, start taking out the Draconics, slowly transition your team over. And if you look here, after we throw away after we sell our Draconics and everything, we have so much gold. Again, this is just so gold efficient. And yeah, we're gonna play 2 Kindreds for now. I didn't expect to win this round because we haven't like gotten everything we needed yet, but wow. Yeah, I guess this guy was pretty weak, so we just end up winning anyway. But usually in this situation, you'll stack around so that you can go 9 next round, and then roll all the way down with all the gold you have, hit everything you need, because level 9 is the best odds for this comp. But yeah, until you hit everything you need, just play random legendaries that you hit, pick up any 5 cost. And here we found Garen, so I'm gonna transfer the items from Tarek to Garen because he's just better. So right now we need to try to 2-star units and roll for the last knight because we only have 5 right now. So yeah, that's all we're trying to do, and after that the comp's basically done. You see that I have a Nico, but I'm not gonna use it on Kayle because the difference between 1-star and 2-star Kayle isn't actually that big. They both take the same amount of time to ascend, and the only difference is 2-star Kayle does a little bit more damage. It's very negligible, so yeah, don't worry if your Kayle is only 1 star. Use the Nico on somebody else like Kindred or Garen because they're gonna be able to stall out the round for Kayle to ascend. So yeah, don't worry about your Kayle being 1 star. Just prioritize your other units. Make sure that they're able to buy her the time to ascend. We found a Darius, so we're gonna put him in, and yeah, now we have 6 knights. The round is basically gonna go super long now. And Kindred is just great at keeping Kayle alive as well. If you don't have Kindred, you could put in Jax for 3 Ironclad. It just really depends on what you get, what you want to play. This round we're up against Skirmishers, which is another super strong comp this patch because they all got buffed, and Dragon Slayer is actually really good against us as well because your tanks have a lot of HP, so as soon as they kill one, they're gonna do a lot of damage. But by that point, yeah, it doesn't even matter. See, look at Kayle, there she goes. She just spams her ability at that point because the round already went so long that Guinsu's stacked up, and then the Hodge, she just heals from every single time her swords rain down. So yeah, at that point, even if your whole team was killed off, if she's alive and she has ascended to that point, she's gonna 1v9 and there's no stopping her because she just heals infinitely from casting over and over with Hodge. So yeah, that's why Kayle is so strong right now with 6 knights. 6 knights got buffed as well, so that's another reason to play this comp. And on the carousel, we were able to pick up Cavalier Darius and 2-star him, so yeah, now our team is even tankier with Cavalier buff, which also got buffed. So yeah, this is just a really good spot to be in. The only thing we need at this point is just 2-star Garen. We don't even need Kayle to be 2-starred. Okay, so this round we're up against that Katarina player from earlier. Since we were able to go 9, we were able to fit in Kindred after getting in the 6 knights. So yeah, Kindred is able to keep her alive longer and just let her do her thing, and we knock out the Katarina player. But also another thing to keep in mind is this guy didn't end up 3-starring his Katarina. Once Katarina is 3-starred, she is super scary, and yeah, at that point, if you're losing to it, even with a Kindred, then that's when you consider putting in Viego over Kayle. because you just saw a 2-star Katarina still almost kill the Kayle and Kindred despite having 6 knights and having damage blocked. Yeah, it's just Katarina is just a counter to this comp. So if you don't have a Bramble or a Trap Claw when you're in that situation, the only other thing you can do is stack your tanks with damage items like Morello or Sunfire, because they're gonna have to do all the work after Kayle dies, and if they don't do any damage, Katarina is also just gonna finish them off. So yeah. Alright, now this monstrosity is wailing on our Kayle, but it doesn't matter because it's already reached past her ascension, so she's gonna heal through all the damage she takes. So yeah, at that point she's unkillable, and the only way to stop her is CC. So there were some games where I played against people playing the same comp, so we would be the last 2 standing, and yeah, basically at that point, if you're up against somebody also running 6 Knights Kayle, what you can do is position your Thresh on the opposite corner or the opposite side of the board to pull their Kayle and CC her. In one of those games, I took out 2 Knights so that I only had 4 Knights, and I replaced those 2 useless Knights with Heimer and Viego, because the Viego is going to be able to CC their Kayle while they're, even if she's in Ascension, so that she can't rain down the swords. And Heimer, his burn damage is going to help you deal with their tanks. So yeah, that's something you can do if you're up against the same comp and you're trying to win. Now it's just down to me and this guy playing Abominations. I saw he had some 1-stars on his board. I don't know if he sold them to try to 3-star Nunu, but yeah. Let's see how this goes. So, looks like his team is pretty tanky as well, but yeah, his Kindred kind of stalls a little bit. Honestly, in this type of situation, it can only benefit Kayle and not his team. So yeah, unlucky for him. Yeah, it's not really looking too good for him because his board just still has so many 1-stars, and we basically have a legendary board, but well, not really legendary, it's just more like a bunch of really expensive units. And yeah, so I saw his Nunu was right in front of my Darius, but I wanted to see him chomp my Darius, so I just left him there. I could have swapped him and Leona, but at this point we really can't lose with this team comp. But yeah, let's just see how he does this round. There was a game I was running this comp with a Draconic opener as well, and I ended up playing 5 Draconic for a little bit to farm eggs. So I just got a bunch of Nikos, and I ended up 3-starring Tarek as well by buying Teemos and then just rolling over and over. But yeah, that's just to show you how with Draconics you just have so much gold and so much health that you can buy Teemos, or you can spend gold however you like, spend health however you like. You're just gonna be so far ahead. And even if you don't open with Draconics, if you get it a little bit later down the road and you're able to 2-star some of them and transition into Draconics and then transition into this comp, that's still really good, you know, you're still getting free gold. I've seen a lot of people play this comp in the same game and go bottom 8 because they try to put in their 4 Knights early and have like 1 carry like Varus. But I'm telling you, if you can get Draconics at any part of the game, transition into Draconics, get the free gold, you'll be level 8 before anybody else. You'll be so healthy, and you'll just have a late game team comp super early on. You'll spike super early. That's the beauty of it. It's a little bit harder to play this comp if you don't play Draconics because you won't get the gold to spike earlier than everyone else. So you'll get to level 8 around the same time and maybe even spike later. So yeah, just be careful of that. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.